can bring their stuff in, they can do comparisons, and of the wide variety of things that we have. So we have we have about 20,000 products in stock. So we have a very good customer service reps. They're very familiar with the different planes and the parts that go with them and how things interlock. They call in for tubing, metals, sheet metal, round tubing.
My grandfather started the business, and my great-grandfather was a jeweler by trade. They had a little storefront in Highland, and the store is still there. And they built the first pipe organ right around the turn of the century in that shop. Our organ company was in 1906. We officially incorporated in 1906 with the organ company. So by the war, we'd been in business for a pretty long time, worked out of the big shop that's across the street from this here aircraft division now. To date, we built over 6,400 pipe organs, scattered throughout the whole country, and even overseas in Korea and the Philippines have been some recent installations. We have literally pipe organs all over the world. Back in '74 was when we really tipped the scales into the aircraft business, and it was after years of my dad having airplanes. He flew Bonanzas, and he had Aztecs and Apaches. He learned that flying was a good way to get around to service customers and get to meet with customers, and he enjoyed it. It's a love of flying. Getting up in the air is a wonderful thing. So he had the passion, and he hired his mechanic who worked on his airplane, who was an operator of an airport at Vandalia and a mechanic. So he brought him on board, and his shop superintendent actually built the Bowers Flybaby. His name was Dick Hazy, and his family was working at the organ company too at the time, and his father was in the organ business. So they built the plane, and then they talked my dad into building a KR2. Didn't have to twist his arm too hard, but in record time, in like 3 months, they built a scratch-built KR2 and had it flying and up to Oshkosh Air Show. And at the show, it just stole the show. We had it flying around the patch, and everybody would stop to watch this little airplane that had a Volkswagen engine in it, and would go 160 miles an hour and about a 25, 30 mile per gallon fuel burn. So it was really, really something. And it looked better than, and I hate to say, but even Ken Rand's own airplane looked a little kind of choppy. Ours was all nice finish and just craftsmanly built. So took off. We're handing out Wicks Organ Company cards. They took a couple of years. We put together our first catalog after that, and we started selling the raw materials. Why not? We had all the woods, the spruce wood that goes in the spars. You had the plywoods already that we were already in business using. We just had to pick up some more materials. Foam and other things were new to us, fiberglass, epoxies. And we put together a kit and started selling the KR2 kit. And before long, we sold hundreds of them. And we figured we better branch out and moved into this current building, which is across from the original building. And within the next several years, we got linked into the Very Easy program. Everything that Bert Rutan was doing, the Very Easy, the Long Easy, the Defiant, were all popular kits that took off too. And we just, before long, we had 30 different kits actually that we handled. Some of actually Paul Beresny's designs we picked up too. So, and he was the founder of EA, as you know. So, but since we've learned how to give good service, customer service, and have a wide variety of parts, we're still very, very strong in the aviation world and branching out to new markets and so forth. A good part of our business comes from outside the aviation world today. So we have people making gun barrels out of our metal. We have people making monster trucks out of the steel that we sell, and aluminum to make lighting products. Some of our metal materials goes into different vehicles that they use in the military and so forth. People have learned that we have good quality materials and we deliver a good product and a reasonable price, good time frame. Get it out the door and get shipped right to your door.
Basically, you're looking at the orders come in through the computer. She pulls them. They all get put over here. Then they get checked to make sure that it's actually the right product. Just double check. This is where all the parts come in and get received. As you can see, I got fittings that just came in. Every one of them has to be double checked to make sure they're the right product. They're all marked so that when we go to put them away, they get put in the right spot. Over here, you've got all your 4130 and aluminum tubing, which there's a lot of it. We buy it in bulk, so we get really good pricing on it. There's a lot of kit manufacturers, a lot of just about everything. I mean, we run the whole gamut. You wouldn't believe some of the. I got people building rockets. I got people making guns. I've got people making stuff in the military. It's just there's a little bit of everything. We carry all the mil-spec plywood, the actual manufacturers right here in town, so we get it really quickly, as fast as you can get it made. We also do the Superflight and Stewart systems, but their stuff is as ordered, because they make it themselves rather than us make the paint. And then like over here, you got all your fiberglass and vacuum bagging and all that kind of stuff. Section here, that's all your hardware and all the small bits. But if they come in, it's like they show me a screw and it's like, I know instantly, it's an MS24693 or it's an AN525 or something like that. And it's just, and they're like, how do you do that? And it's like, well, work the same thing for 22 years and you can do the same thing.
Right.
We all take care of each other. We take care of our customers. I mean, it's a good place to work.
Product's somewhat unique to the aviation world because it is streamlined shaped and is aluminum, so it's lightweight aircraft material. This is a strut material that's used to hold the wing and give support to a wing on a lot of high wing airplanes and some low wings. We have a variety of different sizes for even some jury strut. Here is a smaller material. And other places use this too. If you got a machine that goes fast, it's out exposed in the air. It could be a boat, it could be a wing on a boat, it could be a dragster or something. If you need to go through the air fast, this is the best shape to do it with, and that's why they specifically make this material. This has a flat spot right here and here that allows you to put a piece of square tubing in there and fasten to the rest of the strut and give you an attachment point, a flat spot to work with. And a lot of streamlining doesn't have that, and that's what's kind of unique about this particular product, is that design that's built in. So one of these has this unique shape to it, and it's for a lightweight, very strong spar of different sizes and dimensions. We have stock here for building aluminum airplanes. What we're seeing here is parts of a 1890s organ that was in Gordonville, Missouri, a church in Gordonville. It was a tracker, it was all mechanical action, and the facade pipes that are visible were stenciled, and this is kind of a practice pipe here where we experimented with stenciling and gold leafing. You see the gold leaf has been applied right over the gold paint, and that just gives it a brighter, it pops out more, and which is very standard. Custom is all done by hand. And so our first step was to survey the pipes, study them, photograph them, measure them, and then actually make hand stencils for each of the different designs that were on the pipes. These are all speaking pipes, okay. Yes, and Again, that's a practice pipe, and here's the actual pipes that are nearing completion. This one here, I don't know where the best angle is, but you see it has a gold leaf applied already to it, where the gold is extra bright. And there's 2 or 3 or 4 different 5 patterns, unique patterns on this pipe alone. And there's 4 or 5 different colors. So this has all been hand painted and hand stenciled and hand gold leafed. And what happened was the original pipes, someone at one time put a clear coating over them. And that clear coating darkened and browned. So you really couldn't tell, you couldn't see the stenciling anymore, and you couldn't see the variations of the colors on the pipes, what was beneath it. So it took us bringing the pipes back here and actually cleaning off the old coating and looking underneath and what were the original colors. They didn't even know what the original colors were anymore. You couldn't tell that the gold was actually a gold paint under there. It was so tarnished and so aged. So they wanted to brighten it up and freshen up. So we are duplicating the best of our ability the pipes that were there and what they looked like 120, 30 years ago.
Well, right now I'm doing the final touch of that one pipe you showed you over there has been gone over the fine tooth comb. It's done. This one I've just finished touching up all the paint, and now there's some spots with the gold leaf that need to be addressed. And then we put the sizing on. I'm cutting small pieces of the gold leaf. I put them on, let it dry, and then use a makeup brush to brush it off.
Walker here he's created all the stencils, and he has some of them. He did them on like a mylar film. You can
Overhead
see,
projector film.
yeah, you can actually, what is it?
Overhead
projector film.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Look at that.
And those are the actual patterns that he used. And he's unwrapping the tape on some that have been painted multicolored bands. Walker's an employee and an art student over at SIU at the moment. Our company has not done stenciling maybe once in the last 20 years, and probably not much in the last 50 or 60 years. So we're kind of branching out to something new that's old. For example, this is an old console our company built in the 20s or 30s, and
wow.
we'll bring it back, we'll refinish it, we'll update all the equipment inside it. And this over here are parts of Opus 1. I told you about that. That was our first instrument. And we putting a clear coat on all the woods to help preserve the wood. A lot of it was still raw lumber, and it was drying out and aging. So we're giving it a new look. All original equipment and all the parts and pieces just taken apart and going through one by one. And that'd be a neat story for another day. Parts of Opus 1. This was a tracker instrument, meaning it was all mechanical action. So when you push down the keys, there were wood linkages from the keys over to the pipes that would then pull down a valve like this. And that valve, this was full of wind, and this would let air up into this channel, so a whole group of pipes could get air one time whenever you would play the notes. And we have blowers that provide the wind for the organs today too, of course. Which, so you don't have to have somebody pumping up in the organ. Or what we call the trackers. And these were actually the pedal trackers. So your foot pedal would push down on this felted piece here and move this tracker, which then was hooked to eventually one of these pieces over here to pull down and let air into the pipe. So we have bundles of sticks around here, as we call them, and trackers that were set up to play this instrument. This particular console there came out of a church that closed, actually. We built this console here, and these pipes, all these pipes go with it. And the church is closing, and we gave them some money for the organ. We took it out, and they eventually demolished the building. So we just recently sold this organ to a church in Wendell, Illinois, which had a fire and destroyed their instruments. So it's a good recent instrument. I mean, 20 years old is a new pipe organ. They go hundreds of years. It's a good deal for them, good deal for us. We found a new home for it. With some minor changes. It will be serving our church again here 6389, so that's 6,389th instrument that we built. We're at 6478 right now, and growing.